Piedra para los chiquitos. A los chiquitos de edad. Deja ahí que con esa misma le voy a pegar.
We zitten nu bij de beste leeg van de wereld.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Valencia, Spain. My name is Tim Collins, and in this game we are going to bring you the number 1 versus the number 2, China versus Puerto Rico. And the winner of this game will punch their ticket to the final of the World Cup in 2024 in Italy. So only a ticket punch at stake here. Both of these teams met on Tuesday, and China was victorious by the score of 2-0. A little ground ball single off the bat of Hu Xiaoyan against Kira Butcher, and that was the difference in the game. And if you go back historically between China and Puerto Rico, they did not play each other for quite a while. And the last time they did play each other in World Cup play was back in 2014 on August the 1st, and China won that game 1-0. They won the game earlier this week 2-0. And it's going to be the same formula, same thing every day for Coach Tang Changdong of China. He's going to start the game with the right-hander Shai Yinan and eventually turn it over to Wei Yuchen, and then if needed, Wang Lan at the back of the bullpen. That's exactly what he did against Puerto Rico, with victory as the result on Tuesday. And Shai Yinan is in the circle, ready to go. She will face a lineup that begins with Alicia Ocasio. Ocasio is going to be the starting pitcher in this game for Puerto Rico. She leads off. Carla Claudio at first base batting second. Jenna Causa at third base bats third. Carson Gordon in left field bats fourth. Alimali Lopez, the catcher, fifth. Odalis Cordova at second base bats sixth. Amina Vega, the shortstop, batting seventh. Kathy Garcia, designated player, batting 8th. Tatiana Roman, center fielder, batting 9th. And we are ready to go. Shai Yinan against Alicia Ocasio, and here we go. First pitch is low. We are underway. And along with Jim Flanagan, we are happy to be coming with you live here from Valencia, Spain.
Tim, this is the game everybody's been waiting for all week long. Number 1 against number 2.
And Ocasio, who is 3 out of 12 in this tournament. The back of the buck, she drops a bunt down. It goes foul off to the right, strike 1. Defensively for China, behind the plate, Ren Min doing the catching. It's been the same defensive alignment all throughout the tournament, with the exception of a couple of substitutions at first base. It's Wang Bei at third. Xia Yua is playing shortstop. Shi Jiaqin at second. Li Jiaxi is at first. In the outfield from left to right, Yan Siyu, He Xiaoyan, and Dong Zhuxuan. 1-1 on Alicia Ocasio. And a swing and a foul, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, what did you think about that Netherlands-Cuba game we just saw?
It was a great matchup, and it's a shame any team has to come away a loser on that one, but those two teams earned the right to play in that game and put on quite a show for the fans. I thought the pitching from the Netherlands, that was the difference maker with all those strikeouts.
Yeah, Eva Voortman, big game pitcher, out-dueling Yilian Tornes on the other side. There's a ground ball slapped to the shortstop. Xia Yua up with it and just barely gets Ocasio hustling down the line. There's one away. They had Ocasio played perfectly as Xia Yua was actually shading her towards the hole over there.
For those of you that joined us and missed that prior game, the Netherlands coming away a winner in that 3 versus 4. So Cuba eliminated at this point, and Netherlands will move on to the game to follow this one. Great pitching performance by Eva Voortman. I think the difference was lefty on lefty. She handled the lefties for Cuba the way Yilian Tornes did to the rest of the tournament all week.
That is a rocket right to Li Jiaxi, who picks it off of her shoe tops for out number 2. Carla Claudio squaring that one up. Not a lot of time to react there. And 2 quick outs. Shai Yinan, who had pitched a total of 12 1/3 innings in this tournament. 13 hits, 5 earned run, 5 walks, 17 strikeouts. She's basically an opener. She goes 2 or 3, and that's the plan. There's a swing and a miss by Jenna Causa.
Second time in the tournament these two teams have seen each other. Tim, you caught the earlier matchup between China and Puerto Rico.
And Shai Yinan pitched 3 innings of shutout ball in that game and then turned it over to Wei Yuchen and Wang Lan. And China won that game 2-0. Causa looks at a ball. The home plate umpire, Thomas Lohnert from Germany. Jason Carter of Australia is at first. Felipe Arteaga from Colombia is at second. And Manuel Tovar of Venezuela is at third. rounding out the crew. Jenna Kaza with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. That one's low.
Kaza among the leading hitters in this tournament. Of course, Casanova for Cuba up at the top of the heap for hits with 9 starting the day. And likewise, Jenna Kaza, 9 hits.
9 hits and 16 at-bats. 4 runs batted in with that wide open stance, all of her weight on the back leg at the back of the box. That's low and outside. Shainan staying away from the power of Kaza.
Kaza also up in the RBI totals, as was Casanova of Cuba. They were among the leaders all week long. So run production from Jen Kaza.
3-1 from Shainan. Infield is back and straight away and deep. Here it comes. That ball sharply hit and picked by Wong Bei. And a couple of line drives to the corners for the second and third out of this inning.
No chance to get out of the way of that one. Just hold the leather and hope it hits the mark. 2 hard shots, but China threw the first on a 1-2-3.
We've seen that they are a solid defensive team, and they showed it there. We go to the bottom of the first inning. It's Puerto Rico 0. China coming to bat. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup live on GameTime.Sport.
Se presenta el equipo visitante al terreno de juego con la siguiente alineación. En el center field, Tatiana Román. En el right field, Janelle Martínez. Tercera base, Gina Coxa. Shortstop, Amina Vega. Segunda base, Odalis Córdoba. Primera base, Carlos Claudio. Catcher, Aleimani López. Y la ganadora del partido con el al 8, Alexia Casio.
Alicia Ocasio is going to be in the circle for the second time this week against a tough opponent. She pitched very well against Cuba, pitched a complete game, defeating Cuba on 5 hits and 1 earned run. No walks and 8 strikeouts, and now she's going to face a very tough and very fundamentally sound and patient China lineup that begins with Xia Yue. Li Jiaxi will bat second, and Xu Jia, the designated player, will bat third, and the first pitch is outside from Ocasio.
Tim, we heard so much about Ocasio coming into this tournament. The week before this event, she was pitching in the Central American Caribbean tournament. That one featured Puerto Rico and Cuba in the gold medal game, and Ocasio coming away a 2-0 winner in that one.
And there's the first called strike on the inside corner to Xia Yue, who is 3 out of 15 with 2 runs scored and a triple in this tournament.
I think the difference for Puerto Rico, Ocasio has not had to throw as many innings as someone like Yilian Tornes for Cuba. She's played some outfield.
That ball popped up left side, giving it a look. Kaza, it lands on our roof.
And comes into this game a little better rested than was Tornes.
Tornes pitched 30 innings out of the 42 that I believe Cuba played. I think my math checks out there. 4 complete games for Yilian Tornes.
If you had asked her to throw one more, she would have said she'd be happy to, but quite a performance from the Cuban left-hander.
And Ocasio gets the first strikeout, a good off-speed pitch. That's her out pitch. She has an absolute beautiful changeup, and you can see Xia Yue tried to stay back and simply could not. So 1 down for Li Jiaxi to step up to the plate. This Chinese lineup, when you look up and down, all of them have hits. All of them have scored a run. Everyone has contributed. It's very even-keeled all the way through 1 through 9.
I think when you look at a stat sheet on China, you see total bases at the top of that heap. They take every base they can in addition to those total bases that they earn. You give them a break, they will take it and make you pay for it.
There's that off-speed pitch, comes in a little bit low. 2 balls and no strikes to Li Jiaxi, who has 4 hits and 15 at-bats. 2 runs scored and 2 runs batted in. Joshi playing first base. It's an all left-handed hitting lineup. And that one missed inside 3-0. Ocasio calmly goes back and pats the rosin down, which is sitting on the line at the edge of the circle. 3-0, Joshi may have the green light. And Ocasio pours that one in, 3-1. She did not give up on that 3-0 pitch. Three and one. 1 out, nobody on. And that's outside for ball 4, so a walk. That's something she did not do, Ocasio, in 7 innings against Cuba, is issue a free pass. And so the pitch missing outside puts a runner on first base for Xu Jia. Corner infielders are up looking for a bunt. We've seen everybody in this lineup at least attempt a bunt once, but Jia does not show it there. The pitch is low and outside, 1-0.
Renmin on deck, the power hitter in that China batting order, so they would like to do some table setting for her if they can in this inning.
Ali Mali Lopez out to have a chat with Alicia Ocasio. Ocasio communicating with Amina Vega at short. Talking about who's going to receive a throw, should there be a comebacker. Infield, Kaze at third. Excuse me, that is Kathy Garcia at third. Garcia is the designated flex player for today. Original lineup I had
likewise had Koza at third. Mine as well.
Well, that might be just the sub. If she's the flex, she can go in there. There's a swing and a miss. That was that beautiful off-speed pitch. Gordon, Roman, and Martinez in the outfield. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss again. Pulling the string for a second time in a row. And Xu Jia way out in front. Ocasio has heat, and she really knows how to pitch. Obviously, we've talked about her accomplishments when she was in college, throwing the first ever postseason no-hitter in Florida history. On the corner, strike 3. 2 strikeouts for Ocasio, and Xu Jia is gone.
The change makes the hard stuff look harder still, and the changeup almost unfair to be using. She uses both to offset. Similar in style to Yilian Tornes, but throws the changeup much more often. Has very good command of it.
Ren Min looks at that change, and it's a little bit low. Tornes throws that pitch maybe once every 2 or 3 innings, it seems like.
It's maybe half a dozen during the course of the game, but Ocasio much more reliant on it. Very hard to time.
This one is up and in, 2-0. Ren Min has drawn 6 walks. She is the one hitter that everybody has been very careful with, and Ocasio no different. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
Min with 1 home run in the tournament.
That was off Eva Vortman, who we just saw dazzling against Cuba. Pitches upstairs, 3 balls and no strikes. Ocasio again going back to that rosin. Very cool and collected out there. Shakes off a pitch on 3-0. And a swing and a ground ball up the middle past the dive of Cordova into center field for a base hit. The throw comes quickly back in from Roman to Vega. And a single up the middle for Ren Min. And China has runners on first and second for Shi Jiaxin.
Min, you saw with that power step they take, the little hitch, and then rolling the weight forward. Everything going at the ball.
We're going to have the temporary runner, Xu Jia, is going to go out there and run for Min, the catcher. So the base runners are now Jiaxi at second and Xu Jia at first. And Shi Jiaxin, who has 6 runs batted in. That's the most of anybody on the team, including that long home run that you saw against Spain, I believe that was. And the pitch missed outside and low, 1 ball, no strikes. This is the 6th hitter of the inning. There are 2 outs and 2 on.
Little extra velocity on that last pitch from Ocasio, trying to work the left-hander away.
Jiaxi at second, Jia at first, and the pitch is low. A throw behind the runner at second, and she's safe. Not a bad idea by Alimali Lopez, as Jiaxi had to get the foot back in there quickly. Cordova over to receive the throw.
Throw on the money.
2 balls and no strikes the count now to Shi Jiaxin. This ball slapped foul off to the left, 2-1.
Ocasio again working away on the left-hander. She went with it, just trying to go the other way.
Already a big spot. You figure there's not going to be a lot of runs in this game with the type of pitching that China has. Ocasio desperately wants to get through this inning. 2-1 on Jiaxin. The ground ball rolled slowly to first. Ocasio was over there and late covering, and coming home to score a run with alert base running is Li Jiaxi, and now the throw got to the backstop, and both runners end up at second and third. Ocasio, I think, was there to cover, and maybe was called off by the first basewoman, Claudio, who then was late to the bag.
Yeah, I think Claudio held off thinking there would be somebody there, and then realized she was too far away and hurried a throw. Probably better just hold the ball at that point, leave runners at the corners, but that's not how it played out, so China gets on the board.
Yeah, and like you said, you give China an inch, they will keep on running. On that exact play, they knew exactly what to do. Jiaxi coming all the way around to score, and the pitch is a strike.
Little frustration in the face of Ocasio after that last one.
She did sprint towards first after that, and then pulled up as if she had been called off, but Claudio misjudged how far away she was from the bag and couldn't get there.
And the runner puts pressure on the defense like that, running down the line very quickly. It would have been a tough play either way.
0-2 on Yan Siyu. And a little tapper, rolled foul. This, you see with 2 strikes, they are very adept at staying back and just sort of flicking the ball away. That pitch, 9 times out of 10, gets a swing and a miss.
Well, that was a ball away, and it was a little bit off speed too, and yet she still pulled it over to the right side.
That was ruled a base hit, by the way, for Shi Jiaxin. And the pitch, high and outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes, trying to get the chase on a rise ball, I believe.
Those are the kind of breaks or mistakes that can make a game like this. All of these top 3 or 4 teams, their games against each other decided by 1 run or maybe 2 at the most. Low scoring affairs, a lot of pitching.
That one is low and away. Count now even at 2-2. Xu Jia, who is running for Renmin, she's on third base. Shi Jiaxin is on second base. So Jia and Jiaxin. Yan Siyu with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. So far a labor-intensive first inning for Ocasio. And a little blooper on the third base side. It lands foul.
Just to the left of that foul line over there in the corner. That one falls in. It's more trouble.
Yeah, that would have been 2 more on the board for China. But there's so many things that can happen when you just shorten up and put the ball in play, and that's really what China is so good at. They don't swing and miss a lot. But Ocasio would love to get a swing and miss here against Yan Siyu.
Outfield straight away, they'll have to come up throwing for the second runner to have a chance there if anything's hit their way.
And Siyu just golfing that pitch out of the glove of Alimali Lopez for a foul ball. It's going to be very frustrating when you know you make a good pitch and the hitter is able to just sort of flick the bat at it and punch it off in foul territory. 2-2. And that one just missed low. Ocasio trying to burn that outside edge at the knees.
Good hard one away from the left-hander. Look for Ocasio maybe to do that again. Just come right at her. Make her hit Ocasio's pitch.
Well, it's 1-0. China already leading. Puerto Rico could not score against them on Tuesday. And the 3-2. Swinging a fly ball to right field. Janelle Martinez is there and makes the catch, and the inning is over. But China gets a run. 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 left on base at the end of a full inning of play in a winner punches the ticket game here in Valencia. It is China 1, Puerto Rico nothing. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup live on GameTime.sport. Back to work for XVII as we go to the second inning, and there's a discussion already taking place between home plate umpire Thomas Lohnert and Carson Gordon. Not sure what that is all about, but play is set to begin. China scored a run on 2 hits in the bottom of the first inning, and now it'll be Gordon, Alimali Lopez, and Odalis Cordova against XVII, and the pitch is low.
This is the 1 versus 2 game, of course. China finished 1 and Puerto Rico 2, but actually 3 teams finished the round robin, all with 4-1 records. Came down to the tiebreaker to decide these 2 teams would play in this one. Cuba missing out by just 1 run.
Gordon gets around on that and fouls it off to the left for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Big difference in the matchup because the winner of this one goes straight to the finals in July 2024 in Italy.
And that is going to be an exciting tournament, I have a feeling.
So a lot at stake for these teams in this game.
Waiting for that foul ball to be brought back in to XVII. Shakes hands with the first basewoman Liu Jiaxi. Corner infielders are always wanting to know what the next pitch is going to be as they crowd the mound to do that. There's a pitch that's upstairs to Carson Gordon, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Especially as close as some of these corner infielders like to play. You need to know. When they say on a need-to-know basis, they mean just that.
Well, it worked to perfection in the first inning. There was a liner to first, a liner to third. And the pitch, that's upstairs. So if you're looking at it from the point of view of Puerto Rico, they got some good swings at Yunnan in that first inning and had nothing to show for it. And then on the bottom half, a couple of bloops and dribblers, and China has a run. And that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. 3 balls and a strike to Gordon, who has power. The pitch on the way from XVII is outside, ball 4, and Puerto Rico has a base runner to lead things off here in the second. And that'll bring up Alimali Lopez, who is 1 out of 10 in this tournament. Lopez has doubled. That's her 1 hit. And Carson Gordon on first base, representing the tying run. Lopez squares. The bunt is laid down, fielded by Bay. She goes to second. The throw, got her. Boy, you could see the intent was there from the get-go.
Gutsy play by Wong Bang going to second base with that one. Just getting the out by a hair.
I mean, that is as close as it gets.
The bunt was a good one. It was down in front of the plate, didn't pop up or anything like that. It looked like a straight sacrifice, but Wong Bay says, no, I'm going to get the lead runner, and that's exactly what she did.
Absolutely no hesitation.
So Lopez aboard on the fielder's choice now over at first.
And now Odalis Cordova, 3 out of 15 with 3 runs, a double, and 2 runs batted in. She had been 0 until yesterday's game and then banged out 3 hits.
So already a couple of nice defensive plays turned in by China's Wong Bay. The line shot, now a great throw to second on the force.
1 strike. Cordova lays down a bunt. Let's see if this happens again. Bay now throws to first in time. That's the only place she had. She had to cross way over into the first base side of the diamond.
That bunt to the first base side, so instead of being able to field it and throw quickly to second, Bay having to run to get to the ball. but making a nice throw on the play to get the out.
But now a runner in scoring position for Amina Vega. Again, Vega was another player who came into yesterday's game with Ofer. And, or maybe she had 2 hits. She had 3 hits, I believe, yesterday.
At least 2 that I recall. We were talking about that.
She hit the ball on the nose. And I think I mentioned at the time that it was a good feeling for head coach David Santos to get some of those hitters at the bottom of the order feeling good about the way they're swinging the bats coming into this game. And Vega takes a ball low and outside, 1 ball, no strikes.
Credit Cordova with a sacrifice on that last one. So it is Alimali Lopez, or the runner for Lopez at second base.
1 ball, the count to Amina Vega. There's a ground ball to the right side on a bunch of bounces to Lee Jiaxin. She bobbles, and the throw to first is late. Now the throw home also late. The game is tied, and Vega goes to second base.
There's an uncharacteristic mistake by China. The ball was not fielded cleanly. It looked like she got caught in between hops, thought about getting it on 2. By the time she got to the ball, it was a 3rd hop, mishandled it, and then had to hurry the throw. And some alert base running coming around to score for Puerto Rico.
Yeah, and that's exactly the type of base running that China used to take the lead, and immediately they give it back.
Mirror images of the run that China got. So the ledger's been balanced. We're tied at 1.
That's going to be an error, I believe, as that was Cordova, of course, running for Lopez, and now Kathy Garcia fouls away the first pitch. That would have been the 3rd out of the inning, but the ground ball had a lot of spin on it, and it rolled up the hand of Lee Jiaxin. Excuse me.
I think she just got caught playing just a hair too deep, and that 3rd hop is what created the problem.
And so now Vega, the go-ahead run, is at second base. And Garcia pops this one up on the infield. Playable. Shia Yua calling and makes the catch to end the inning. But Puerto Rico pushes across an unearned run. 1 run on no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. At the end of an inning and a half, we are tied at 1. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup, live on GameTime.sport. Welcome back to Valencia. Tim Collins along with the Cowboy, Jim Flanagan, coming to you from Camp Municipal de Baseball y Softball here in Valencia. Alicia Ocasio is going to go back to work and try to improve upon her performance after having allowed a run in the first. Puerto Rico has tied the game as China, with an uncharacteristic error, allowing a run to cross the plate. And now the first pitch is a strike called to Wong Bei. Wong Bei just coming up for her first at bat. She's already made 2 great plays in this game at third base. And this one is sliced in the air to left field, down the line. Gordon giving chase. She's underneath it and puts it away. 1 down. That will bring up Dong Tzuxuan. Tzuxuan, the right fielder, all week for China. She is 4 for 11. She has a triple amongst her 4 hits and a run batted in.
Not bad run production to have in the number 8 spot in your batting order. Really isn't, doesn't matter where you are in that order for China. they'll find a way to get runners on base.
They all go up there with a plan, depending on the situation. Sometimes they're looking to slap, sometimes they're looking to drive it, sometimes they bunt like that.
Oh, diving catch by Garcia. And a very happy Puerto Rico team sharing some high fives there in the infield.
We've seen a number of those from Kathy Garcia, and that was just another one. That's the second time she's done exactly that, I believe.
There you see on the replay, just flat out for that out, and too quickly retired by Ocasio.
Hu Xiaoyan, the number 9 hitter. She walks up on a ball. Xiaoyan, 5 out of 13. She scored 4 runs and driven in 4. So there's your number 9 hitter. And she flied to deep right field to end the game in the loss yesterday that they suffered at the hands of Cuba. And, you know, looking at that one on the replay, it looked like she just missed it.
Ocasio pulling the string, I think, and it looked like a little hesitation. That was all that kept it from being put in play.
1 ball, 1 strike to Hu Xiaoyan. Swing and a miss, foul rather, 1-2.
A little bit of the Ren Min hitch with that step.
Alicia Ocasio, so far 2 quick outs here in the second. After that shaky first inning, now trying to get into a groove. The 1-2 was missed outside, 2-2. If Xiaoyan can get aboard the top of the order, Xie Yue is waiting in the out-deck circle.
Got to think that's the plan here with the 2 outs. Just find a way to get to first base, give that top of the order a chance to move them around.
And a swing and a miss at that beautiful off-speed pitch. Smothered by Lopez and the tag applied. Ocasio delivers a 1-2-3 second inning after Puerto Rico has tied the score. It's time for the 3rd inning here in Valencia. 1-1 between China and Puerto Rico. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup, live on GameTime.sport. Time for the top of the 3rd inning. The winner of this game will punch their ticket to the finals of the World Cup in 2024.
The loser not eliminated. They'll stick around and play in that 6 p.m. nightcap. They'll take on the Netherlands for the other ticket.
And it will be 9-1-2 for Puerto Rico. Tatiana Roman slapping away, and the first one is fouled off for a strike. Puerto Rico came into this tournament as one of the favorites, but they lost their opening game. And they had to fight to find their way into this game. And now it's a rematch against the only team that beat them. And the pitch is low.
I think the turning point for Puerto Rico was that 3-1 win over Cuba, arch rival Cuba. That seemed to give them the confidence they needed to find themselves in this 1 versus 2 game.
That was, of course, the other complete game performance from Alicia Ocasio. And that one is upstairs and outside. 2-1. Shai Inan, probably this is her last inning, if it's going to be anything like all the other games. She goes 3, and then it's Wei Yu Chen, the left-hander, and then Wang Lan. That's the plan, and they have been going by it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. 2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch slapped on the ground up the middle. That is a base hit into center field past the dive of Shi Jiaqin. And so Tatiana Roman, with her 3rd hit of the tournament, leads things off in a good way for Puerto Rico. That'll send Ocasio to the plate with the runner aboard.
Tim, you had Puerto Rico last night in the nightcap against Spain. Spain holding them off 2-1 down to the 6th inning before they turned it around. But boy, they put some runs on the board in a hurry.
Once they are rolling, they are tough to stop. Ocasio at the plate. She bunts, and it's foul behind the catcher, strike one. The game yesterday had a lot of emotion with Anibal Ramirez from Spain holding things in check for 5+ innings and then just running out of gas. And, you know, at the end, it didn't look like a close game, but it really was. And Spain, despite their record, deserved to be up there with all the other teams. There's a bunt in front of the plate. It stays fair, and the throw to first is in time. That was Jashi off to get it, who fired it to Shi Jashin.
Nice bunt by Ocasio. The first attempt, she sort of sat back on her heels and just sort of pushed at it and wasn't able to put it in play. That one she committed more so and gave herself up. Nicely done by Ocasio.
And now Carla Claudio with a runner in scoring position. Tatiana Roman with excellent speed out on second base. There's only one out. Claudio hit a rocket that was caught at first her first time. And the pitch rolled slowly to short. A tough hop for Yua, but she makes the play to first and holds Roman at second base. There are two down. And so Claudio unable to move the runner along, and it'll take a 2-out hit from Jenna Kaza. That ball nearly hit the heel of Shia Yua's glove.
Yeah, I think the key here, picking it up on 2 hops. Runners get down the line pretty quickly. You've got to make a clean pick and a clean throw all in once.
Jenna Kaza hit a rocket her first time and fouls away the first offering here with a big swing. Strike one.
You ask Puerto Rico who they'd like to see up in this situation, it would be Jenna Kaza. She has been the leading run producer.
4 runs batted in, 9 hits. You can't possibly hit it any harder than she did the last time. And Wong Bei, without a flinch, was able to make the catch, no problem.
And Wong Bei giving her a little bit more room this time, just about even with the bag over at third.
No kidding, the pitch. That is off the plate away, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Tatiana Roman singled up the middle. She was bunted to second, and she remained there after the ground ball by Carla Claudio. Bei at third, looking in for the signs along with Shai Inan. Shia Yua deep at short.
Kaza, you see, with the front foot up and then stepping towards the pitcher.
1-1, swing and a miss, off speed.
Bottom falls out of that pitch. Great location. Great time to call it by Renmin.
You know, the corner infielders, if they're positioning themselves differently based on what pitch is coming, that could actually tip off the hitters as to what Inan is going to throw. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here it comes. A high pop-up to shallow center field. Hu Xiaoyan is back, but it's the second basewoman, Shi Jiaxin, to reach up and pick it out of the air for the 3rd out of the inning. So, pop out ends the threat. Puerto Rico strands the runner at second. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, tied at 1. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup, live on GameTime.sport. To the bottom of the 3rd inning here in Valencia. Puerto Rico 1, China 1. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error for Puerto Rico. 1 run on 2 hits and 2 errors for China. Very uncharacteristic. China actually took the lead in the bottom of the 1st inning, but Puerto Rico was able to answer, and now we're back even. And it will be the 2nd time through the order against Alicia Ocasio, Shia Yua, Li Jiaxi, and Shu Jia.
Similar miscues on the part of both teams that have generated the one run. Little miscommunication or misplay at first base, and then the runner coming around from third to score when perhaps they should not have had that opportunity, but it's an even ledger. And we're tied at 1.
1-0 the count on Shia Yua, the shortstop. She struck out to begin the game. And Ocasio deals. Check swing on a rise ball. Did she go? They appeal. No, she did not, says Emmanuel Tovar. So the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Still a good pitch from Ocasio, really changing the eye level of Yua.
Kathy Garcia way in, almost even with Ocasio over at third base.
That was a changeup that was popped down the third baseline out of reach of Garcia and Vega. So strike 1, 2 balls and 1 strike now. Nobody out, bottom of the third.
Defense for Puerto Rico positioned down at third in close. It'll be up to Vega to cover that side of the infield.
That's popped up on the left side, playable maybe for Garcia, up against the fence, and she could not hold on to it.
Trying to put her glove between the ball and the fence, just not able to quite get up to it. Here you see on the replay, good effort over there by Garcia.
And
just ran into the fence, ran out of real estate trying to make that play.
And not a lot of real estate in this park. 2-2 now the count. And that is in there for strike 3. A called third strike. And Shia Yua is frozen by that offering from Ocasio, 1 away.
Big smile on Ocasio's face. I think knew it was a surprise pitch. Got the intended result and a big strikeout to start off the third.
That's the 4th strikeout. And now Li Jiaxi will step up. And that one is low. 1 ball and no strikes. Jiaxi walked and scored the run for China in the first inning. One and 0. Infielders creeping in, and that's high 2-0. Vega and Cordova deep up the middle. Garcia and Claudio short at the corners. And that one's in there for a strike, 2 balls and 1 strike. China got their run after Jiaxi walked, and then Ren Min singled. Then Shi Jiaxin hit that little roller between the pitcher's circle and first that turned into a base hit. Swing and a miss. Good high cheese from Ocasio, 2-2. And on that play, that roller that turned into a base hit, I believe it was Xu Jia running for Ren Min, came around to score. There's a ground ball past the dive of Claudio and into right field, a base hit. You can almost see that the way that China is attacking the off-speed pitches is to slow the bat speed down as it goes through the zone. They're actually swinging slower, I believe, as a way to combat the changes of speed that Ocasio is throwing up there.
Their ability to read the pitch also coming into play. It's important to be able to wait on that. Not everyone can do that. It's hard to not commit.
There's a hard swing by Xu Jia, fouls it to the screen. It really does look like, because we have a view from the third base side, so we get the side view of the swing, and when they get to 2 strikes, they're actually swinging slower. So then you have the bat in the hitting zone for a longer period of time, and that can, account for the difference between a swing and a miss and something put in play. That pitch is low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Obviously, they're not the only team doing that, but boy, they sure seem to be very good at it. 1-1.
Claudio over at first, playing close to the bag. Big gap on that. She's right where she needs to be.
Well, she fielded that ground ball, and it's probably a good thing that it momentarily popped out of her glove because she was thinking about whirling and throwing, but instead decided to take the Y's out, which was right in front of her at first base.
That throw to second would have been late, so she records the out they need in that situation, giving them 2 outs.
And now you have Ren Min, the most dangerous power hitter in this lineup, with a scoring opportunity. Li Jiaxi at second base. And Min looks at a pitch upstairs for a ball. Min singled and then made it to third and was stranded there. She came into this game 3 out of 10, including that home run, but like I said, 6 walks. She's the one who's been pitched around the most. That one is in there at the knees, 1-1 the count.
You see that front leg picked up completely and the little hitch. Wouldn't be surprised to see Ocasio pull the string on one. Try and do something to disrupt that timing.
Jiaxi out on second base, 2 down. And there's a fly ball lifted down the left field line, playable for Gordon. She squeezes it for out number 3. And again, China strands a runner. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left. We are through 3. It is Puerto Rico 1, China 1. What do you know? We have another close game. Didn't see that coming, did you? You know you did. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup live on GameTime.sport.
Nueva lanzadora con el dorsal 3, Yuchen Wei.
Well, just like clockwork, in comes Wei Yu Chen. This is her part of the game, 4th and 5th innings, if everything goes according to plan. And she will face Carson Gordon, Alimali Lopez, and Odalis Cordova. And the lanky 19-year-old left-hander with the longest windup in the tournament deals low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes to Gordon. Shai Inan went 3 and allowed 1 run.
Tim, this is one of the windups you enjoy watching, almost 3 windups in one. Imagine how it must be for the hitters up there trying to pick up the ball.
And there's a strike called. I mean, I've been trying to figure out the best way to describe it. It basically looks like she's doing the Holy Trinity and then steps back and then wheels that whole arm around forward to back, and a lot of energy.
I imagine the hitters just see a lot of arms and legs coming at them. Where's the ball?
And that one is in the strike zone, 1 and 2.
In the catcher's glove is where it is.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Carson Gordon, who walked against Shai Inan. And that one is lined to left field. That's a base hit. It reaches the left fielder, Yan Siyu, on 1 hop in no time. Gordon turning that one around.
Looked like that ball is up in the zone. Let's take a look at the replay. Yes, indeed, up, and a good hard smash to left field. You don't see too many balls squared up against her, but that certainly was one.
Shai Inan, 3 innings. She allowed 1 hit, 1 run, but it was an unearned run. She walked 1 and struck out none. And now giving way to Wei Yu Chen, who immediately surrenders a single. She's been very tough, and Alimali Lopez shows bunt and swats away at it, but it trickles foul for a strike. So Gordon, the leadoff base runner. In this game, every base runner is going to just be absolutely crucial.
The 1-run inning in the second for Puerto Rico, it was Gordon with a walk and then a fielder's choice by Lopez moving over, and Lopez scoring the run. This time Gordon getting on base again to lead off the inning, this time on a hit.
Let's see if she's going to do any running or if there will be another bunt. The pitch, this one is bunted through for strike 2. So Alimali Lopez showed bunt and swung away. That time then tried to push it up the first base side and is quickly behind 0-2 to Wei Yu Chen.
We remember the last time it was Wong Bei coming in from third to pick up the bunt, what looked like a sacrifice, getting the force out at second.
0-2. This one rolled slowly to Bei at third. She's got one play to first, and she makes it. But in the end, Gordon actually moves up. So Puerto Rico will take that. There's one away.
Here you see the replay. Bei coming in, only one play to be made. The runner already at second base.
So now Odalis Cordova, she sacrificed her first time. Carson Gordon out on second base. And that one is low, ball one.
Cordova's sacrifice in her first time up pushed it towards the right side, but does not appear to be in a bunting situation, but at least not in the first swing. We'll see.
One strike from Wei Yu Chen, starts that long delivery, and here comes the pitch. Strike two. Actually, that was strike one. The first pitch one was low, so they count 1-1. The next one to Cordova. Swinging a chopper up the middle, and it is gloved behind the bag by Yua. The throw to first is not in time. Coming around the score, nope, tagged out at home plate, Carson Gordon. Heads up throw by the first base person, Li Jiaxi. After the safe call at first, the throw came directly to home, and Gordon never got there. She tried to go around Ren Min, who already had the ball, and then was tagged out.
Not unlike the time when they scored the run, but this time the ball handled a little cleaner, and the throw coming in ahead of the attempted slide or attempted avoidance there by Gordon, unable to get around the catcher.
Well, you like the aggressiveness, and I mean, that's how both of the runs in this game have scored anyway, and why not try it again? But China this time able to execute that play as Li Jiaxi not losing awareness. So now there are two outs and Amina Vega at the plate. She rolls one back through the middle. It is gloved behind the bag, and the flip to short, not in time, as Jiaxin could not get the ball to Yua before the runner arrived at second base. So 2 on.
The runner Odalis Cordova sliding in safely on that one. Got a good jump coming off the bag and keeps the Puerto Rico threat alive.
And so now Kathy Garcia. Garcia made a sparkling diving catch, and now she has a chance to contribute with the bat. 2 on. She's 2 out of 9 in this series, including the pop out earlier in this game. Big spot with Cordova and Vega, the base runners. 2 outs and a strike called on the first pitch. Odalis Cordova at second base. Amina Vega at first. There have been base runners in every inning except the first inning and the second for China. First for Puerto Rico, second for China. The pitch. That's upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Cordova at second base runs very well, so outfield would have to come up throwing to keep her from scoring anything on the grass.
And with 2 outs, they'll be going at the crack of the bat no matter what. And that one is rolled foul. In on the hands of Garcia. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Perfect location on that pitch. Inside, not much she could do, tied her up.
Here it comes. Reached out and poked to the right side. That's going to find the net on the way down into the glove of Li Jiaxi. So still 1 ball and 2 strikes.
So after she comes in with the prior pitch, goes away on that one, using all of the plate.
Cordova looked like she was dancing back into second base. Puerto Rico trying to stay loose in a game that figures to be tense. First and second, 2 outs. The pitch. Check swing. The ball is outside. They appeal. Did she go? Yes. Strike 3, and the inning is over. So Garcia strikes out on the check swing, and Puerto Rico, although they had 3 hits in the inning, they get no runs thanks to that Good throw from Li Jiaxi to Ren Min. So no runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left. Bottom of the 4th inning coming up. We are tied at 1. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup live on GameTime.sport. Moving to the bottom of the 4th inning, tied at 1 in this game. Alicia Ocasio has allowed 3 hits, and she will go to work against 5, 6, and 7. Shi Jiaxin, Yan Ziyu, and Wang Bei. Jiaxin singled her first time. Tall second basewoman, and she ropes one down the line. That's foul. Strike 1 to her. Ocasio so far in this game, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk. She has 4 strikeouts. Oh, 0-1 to Jiaxin. Corners are back. Now Garcia creeps in, and the bunt is popped right to Garcia, and there it is again. Another diving play by Kathy Garcia. At this point, it's just routine.
How many times have we seen that today? Garcia, of course, but in the earlier game as well. Some great corner defense by Kathy Garcia.
So there's 1 away. Now Yan Ziyu. Every out so precious in a game like this. The pitch tapped by the plate, and it trickles back into, well, it's going to be foul ball as it apparently hit the foot of Yan Ziyu. If it hadn't, that could have been a fair ball.
That ball had a mind of its own, couldn't decide which part of the foul line it wanted to wind up on, but
Thomas Lohnert saying right away that it hit the foot of Yan Ziyu, so therefore it's a dead ball. 1 strike to count from Ocasio. This ball lined in left field, and perfect placement. Carson Gordon was standing right there. Makes the catch. Out number 2. Well, you don't think they have defensive scouting reports?
I was just going to say credit to the Puerto Rico coaching staff, whoever is holding the spray charts on the China hitters, right where they need to be.
Wang Bei now, 0 for 1. And that ball lifted, and there's a snag at first by Claudio. She spikes the ball into the ground, and that was a defensive inning if I've ever seen one for Puerto Rico.
3 straight outs. Let's look at that one again. That's a beauty. And you see her here. Well, they're going to lose her spiking the ball, but she was excited about that one. Indeed, she did.
And in the blink of an eye, China is sent back to the bench, and we go to the 5th inning, tied at 1. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup live on GameTime.sport. To the top of the 5th inning we go. 1 run for Puerto Rico and 1 run for China. 1-4-1 for Puerto Rico, 1-3-2 for China. The first pitch is taken down low from Tatiana Roman.
8-9-1 in the batting order.
I have 9-1-2 actually. This is
Excuse me, correct.
Roman, and that's, you know, I went a full half inning yesterday forgetting what inning we were in, so easy enough. The pitch is a strike, and count 1 ball and 1 strike. Roman has singled, and that was against Shai Yinan. This is her first look at the left-hander Wei Yu Chen. Of course, these two teams all Puerto Rico saw Wei Yu Chen on Tuesday, and she did not allow any runs. The pitch is outside. In fact, Wei Yu Chen left-hander with a 2-1 count has been very stingy this entire tournament. And Roman trying to get aboard. That pitch is low, and the count 3-1.
Puerto Rico's had the leadoff hitter on twice in the 2nd and 4th. That was Carson Gordon both times.
That one's in there. We have a full count now. Three balls, 2 strikes on Tatiana Roman. And she slaps that one foul. We'll do it again. After Roman, the top of the order, Alicia Ocasio and Carla Claudio. And this ball game that is seeing the tension rise ever so slightly with every passing out without a run scoring. We are deadlocked at 1. This ball slapped on the ground to short. Yua up with it. Low throw and a good pick at first by Li Jiaxi, saving an error. And Roman is retired 6-3.
Good glove work over there at first base. That keeps the leadoff hitter off the bases. A key out in that spot for China.
Now, Wei Yu Chen is nearing 12 innings where she's only allowed 1 run in this entire tournament. She has been very tough. So now Alicia Ocasio back to the top of the order. Tied at 1 in the 5th inning. Here we are. And Ocasio looks at a pitch off the plate, down away. 1 ball, no strikes.
Ocasio sacrificing her last time up, so we'll get a chance to swing away here.
Again, the outfield, Hu Xiaoyan is in left center field. There's nobody in center field. And a line drive to that open gap. Oh, it's going to go all the way to the wall. Ocasio racing to second base. She will stop there.
Ocasio coming around first base with her head up, looking to see where the ball is being played. They did a good job of getting it back into the infield. But Tim, you talked about it. The defense not where they needed it that time. The big hole in the gap. And that's right where Ocasio put the ball.
I mean, that was exactly equidistant between the center fielder and the right fielder, Xiaoyan and Zhuchuan. And so now Ocasio in scoring position. And Carla Claudio with a chance to break this tie. It's getting late in the game here, 5th inning. That counts as late. There's a swing and a foul off the bat of Claudio. Claudio 0 for 2, lined out and grounded out.
The difference there, I think if they're playing straight away, they managed to keep her to a long single. Perhaps that one all the way to the wall very quickly. They did a good job just to keep her at second.
If she had gotten any more lift on that ball, we wouldn't be in a tie ball game anymore, that's for sure. It was hit very hard. And this ball grounded back through the middle, past the glove of Yua into center field. Here comes Ocasio to score, and Puerto Rico leads 2-1. An RBI single off the bat of Carla Claudio. And Chia Yua had shown great range going to her left. She made a play back there earlier. And now Tang Chengdong out of the dugout wants to talk with the Wei Yu Chen and the rest of the team in the pitching circle. So the big hit off the bat of Carla Claudio here in the 5th inning has given Puerto Rico a 1-run lead, and so far 1-run games is pretty much all we've seen.
Another example of that ball getting through the infield quickly on this artificial turf. If you don't get to it quickly, it's through, and that one certainly was. RBI to Claudio.
And the coach is going to go back to the dugout. You know, this is a minor point because these two teams have not faced each other at all prior to this week since 2014. But in that one game in 2014, China won 1-0. So you could say that's the first run Puerto Rico has scored against China in a long time. I was not able to find when the last time they had met previously to that is, but a big run to say the least. Of course, that's just kind of like a fun fact that doesn't have any bearing at all. The thing we're concerned with is who's going to punch their ticket to Italy 2024. Jenna Kaza at the plate with Claudio at first, and she is drilled. And nope, she's going to be pulled back. That it's a foul ball. Kaza arguing that she never made contact with the ball, with the bat. And there's going to be a short argument about whether that was a foul ball or a hit by pitch. She was definitely drilled by the pitch.
I think they've got a good argument here. Let's watch the replay. It came way inside. Looked like it hit her. I'm thinking at the shirt, right around the belt buckle, or a little bit above that. You see her tucking her jersey back in.
I think the question is also whether or not she bunted at it. So the umpires are going to get together and decide. And Lohnert called it right away. He must have thought he heard the sound of the bat hitting the ball. And you can't even see it from that angle because we're blocked by the hand of Wei Yu Chen. You know, there's sound that goes into this as well.
During the timeout, the base coach for...
And they are going to give it to her, hit by pitch.
The base coach for Puerto Rico came over and took a peek under the jersey to see maybe a bruise that they could use to show that the ball had indeed hit her and not the bat.
Well, that's a situation where if the other umpires are in agreement that actually the ball hit her and not the bat, then they're just going to get together and get the call right. Now Tang Chengdong out with Feng Fei and Ren Min talking with home plate umpire Thomas Lohnert to get the explanation.
Umpires, of course, don't have the benefit of the instant replay that we and you, the viewers, do.
And we couldn't even see it on our replay based on the camera angle. But also, the umpire, they can hear the sound. The ball makes a certain sound when it hits the bat, whether or not it's on the handle or not. That's going to do it for Wei Yu Chen. So she had been so dominant for this entire tournament, but Tang Chengdong is not going to let this thing slip away. He's going straight to the big horse out of the bullpen. Wang Lan, the 36-year-old ace, she's the closer, and this game is going to be in her hands now.
The inning started with a ground out by Garcia to short. After that, the double by Ocasio to the gap, then the single by Claudio, and then the hit by pitch. So 2 runners aboard. We'll wait for the warm-up tosses and be right back after just a moment.
So Wang Lan, who in 6 innings of work has only allowed 3 hits and nothing else, is going to come on and try to stop this thing where it is. Puerto Rico leading 2-1. We are in the top of the 5th inning. There's 1 out. Runners on first and second. Claudio is at second. Kaza is at first. And the hitter is Carson Gordon, who has walked and then hit a rope single into left field.
Final day of the tournament, no tomorrow for that. No reason to hold back and leave your big closer in the bullpen. So the move is made by China.
And the pitch to Gordon. That's in there for a strike. So Wei Yu Chen has her first bad outing of the tournament. 1 1/3 innings, 5 hits. She's responsible for the run that scored and the 2 that are still aboard. Carson Gordon. looks at strike 2 and the count 0-2 very quickly against Wang Lan.
Physically intimidating out there, a tall, lanky right-hander. You can hear her grunting as she releases the pitch.
Claudio and Kaza, the base runners. There's a swing and a foul tip, and on 3 pitches, Carson Gordon goes down on strikes.
Beautiful pitch, the bottom falling out of that one. There you see the replay. No way to get to that one.
Yeah, that was an excellent pitch. Wang Lan getting ahead with the rise ball, it looked like, and then putting her away with something sweeping down and away. Now it's Alimali Lopez. But she fouls away the first offering. 4 consecutive strikes thrown by Wang Lan since coming in.
That one fouled straight back to the screen, just missed that one.
Well, Alicia Ocasio started all this with a deep double to right center field. Claudio singled her home. Kaza hit by a pitch. Now Lopez pops one up. That's out of play. Strike 2, 5 straight strikes from Wang Lan. And in terms of slamming a door shut hard, that's what she's trying to do. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, and Wang Lan comes in and takes care of business, striking out Carson Gordon and Alimali Lopez, but Puerto Rico plates a run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 left at the end of 4.5. Puerto Rico 2, China 1. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup live on GameTime.Sport. Bottom of the 5th inning coming up here in Valencia. Alicia Ocasio doubled and scored the go-ahead run, and now she's going to go back to the circle and try to protect that lead as the winner of this game punches their ticket to the finale in 2024 in Italy, here in the group stage of the Women's Softball World Cup. It's the first time we've ever had this situation, splitting the groups up among 3 different locations, and the excitement here has been top-notch. And Alicia Ocasio going to work against 8-9-1 Dong Zichuan, who takes a strike, followed by Hu Xiaoyan, and then the top of the order, Xia Yue.
3 stages, Ireland, Valencia, Spain here, and then Italy just starting today. USA and Australia punching tickets. By the end of the day today, we'll have 2 more teams.
There's a bunt, fielded at third by Garcia, the throw, and it goes off the glove of Cordova. Trickles into right field. Good job of backing that up by Janelle Martinez. And almost another fantastic play by Kathy Garcia.
Well, Cordova turned her glove in towards the field, and I think that kept the ball from going into the right field corner. She didn't catch the ball, but slowed it down, and the runner stays at first instead of being able to move up to second.
And so, again, no time to relax. The leadoff runner is aboard for China. And a bunt laid down, fielded at first by Claudio. The throw to first is just barely in time. Cordova over to cover. And right away now, the tying run moves to second base on the sacrifice.
Claudio at first not taking her time, but very methodical about making the throw, making sure that it was on the mark.
Sichuan was given a single, by the way, on that bunt. And so now the top of the order, Xia Yue, who is over 2 with a strikeout looking. She's going to be pinch hit for, however, by Zhang Xinyue. Xinyue is the only right-hand hitter in the Chinese roster. Yue will probably continue to play defense in the next half inning, but a right-handed hitter, and now David Santos is out to the mound, and he's bringing his lineup card with him. Let's see what he's going to do here. He's going to leave Ocasio in there, I would imagine, yeah. But walking out to the circle with the lineup card, discussing things with his team.
I think the 2 strikeouts to Xia Yue in that slot, playing into the thinking of China, looking to try and get a bat in there to bring that run home.
Dong Sichuan is the runner on second base. And David Santos goes back. That's the second defensive conference. Alicia Ocasio back to the edge of the circle, picks up that rosin. She places it exactly on the line. So the tying run is at second base. There's 1 away, and now Zhang Xinyue pinch hitting for Xia Yue at the plate. And the pitch is low for a ball. One 1-0 to Xinyue. That one is low, 2-0. And a back pick attempt as Dong Sichuan got a little bit too far off the bag. And Lopez firing it to Vega. Two balls and no strikes. And a ground ball right to Vega. She's going to go to third. The tag, they got her. Aggressive base running by Dong Sichuan, and she is thrown out trying to advance on a ground ball hit ahead of her, and that's a huge out for Puerto Rico.
This late in the game, I think looking to advance, try and get around to score, but Vega right on it. Perfect throw to Garcia. Bang, bang.
And Vega was not caught off guard at all by that. You have to expect the aggressive base running the way China has run the bases this week. And the pitch is low to Li Jiaxi. Jiaxi has walked and singled. She's been on base both times, not time. And Tang Chengdong wants to, I believe, put Xia Yue back in to run for Zhang Xinyue. So now Yue will go back in to her spot in the lineup. The count is 1 ball, no strikes to Li Jiaxi.
Jiaxi scoring the lone run for China back in that 1-run first inning after reaching on the walk.
So Ocasio getting that big second out on the ground ball fielder's choice. Maybe a base running error, maybe just over aggressive from Dong Sichuan. That pitch in for a strike, but it's a huge second out.
Looked like she had came off the bag quickly and had already committed, and by then all you can do is put your head down and hope.
Sometimes, you know, on a slowly hit ground ball you can make it, but that ball was hit a little too hard. And that is in for strike 2 from Ocasio. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Beautiful change up, just pulled the string and let that one float in.
Yue now the tying run, but she's all the way at first base. Li Jiaxi, who has power, with a 1-2 count. Ocasio goes up the ladder and doesn't get a chase. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tatiana Roman playing very shallow in center field, as is Gordon in left. Remember, Gordon made that one play on a bloop fly ball in left field. She was positioned perfectly. 2-2 to Jiaxi. The pitch. Swing and a foul tip off to the left.
Took a little bit off that one, and she had to stay back to make that contact. Looked like she recognized it. Couldn't handle it.
Ocasio very deliberate. She does not exert more energy than she needs to, but then when the time comes, it's an explosion to the plate, and there is a swing and a miss for strike 3. Ocasio getting through the 5th inning, stranding a runner. She got a nice play from her shortstop Vega to cut down a run at third base, and China is turned away. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left. We're going to the 6th inning, and it's a 2-1 game. This is the 17th World Cup of Softball, brought to you by GameTime.Sport. To the 6th inning we go. 2-6-1 for Puerto Rico. 1-3-2. Those 2 errors figuring in the scoring. One of the runs that Puerto Rico scored is unearned. And with all these one-run games, you can always look back on one thing here, a thing there. The ball goes this way, the ball goes that way. You get a call, you don't get a call, and that's the deciding factor. And we've had so many of those this week, and it's fitting we should have another one so far today as Odalis Cordova swings and misses.
Tim, the one that comes to mind was the defensive positioning for China with Ocasio at the plate. You picked it up, noticed the big gap, and one pitch later the ball's hit there all the way to the wall.
There's a line drive caught by Yua to her right. Odalis Cordova lines out. That's the first contact against Wang Lan since she came in. Yeah, I mean, that's the one time it backfired on China. Otherwise, they've really done everything very well. And you know it's going to come down to 1 or 2 plays. So Amina Vega against Wang Lan. Foul ball, strike 1. Vega has singled, and she reached on the error that allowed the run to score. That was in the 2nd inning. That was a ground ball to the second basewoman, Shi Jiaxin. 0-1 to Vega. And a check swing. Did she go around? Yes, she did. Strike 2. That's Manuel Tovar making the call over at first. Take another look on the replay. Certainly looks like she went. 0-2. And that one's low and outside. That is the first pitch outside the strike zone that Wang Lan has thrown since she came in. She threw 6 straight strikes to retire Carson Gordon and Ali Mali Lopez in the 5th. Cordova lined out after swinging and missing, and now a ball finally to Vega after there were 2 strikes. And that's what you call attacking the hitter. Strike 3 at the knees on the outside corner, and there are 2 away. Nothing fancy there.
Now, for Puerto Rico, they'd love to tack on an insurance run here, but a very tough task given who they're facing.
And now Kathy Garcia 0 for 2. She shortens up to bunt. It goes back to Lan, who fires, and a good catch by Shi Jiaxin, reaching into the path of the base runner to pick that one out of the air and complete the play. That nearly went down the right field side.
She threw the ball before the base person was even at the bag, almost like a quarterback leading a wide receiver, but the throw was perfectly placed and the side retired.
And Jiaxin gloves it, so 1-2-3 goes Puerto Rico just as quickly as China did in the top half of the inning. So we're going to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is Puerto Rico 2, China 1. One of these teams is going to punch their ticket. We're going to find out who fairly soon, so don't touch that dial. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup, live on GameTime.Sport. Alicia Ocasio knows exactly what her job is. It's to get 6 more outs without allowing a run to score. She is surrounded in the circle by her teammates, and she's going to turn around in a minute and face 3, 4, and 5, Xu Jia, Ren Min, and Shi Jiaxin. This is where the power of the lineup lies, but there is no easy out in this Chinese lineup. And Xu Jia is 0 for 2. And the pitch is grounded, backhanded at first by Claudio, and she will tag out Jia. 1 pitch and 1 big out.
Very cool customer down there, Claudio, making a nice defensive play. 1 big out. First order of business for Ocasio, of course, keeping that leadoff hitter off the bases. Much easier task at hand when you do.
And now the dangerous Ren Min. It's a 1-run game, so 1 swing of the bat could change things. Min is a candidate for such things. Then the first pitch is down low for a ball. Ocasio in 5 1/3 innings, she has 5 strikeouts, only 1 walk, 4 hits. The 1 run was earned, but she's been tough. 1-0 pitch. There's a strike, 1-1.
And there's the changeup, a brave pitch by Ocasio. That one a little bit up in the zone, but it froze Ren Min.
Min is 1 for 2. She's singled. And that ball ripped on line to shortstop Amina Vega for out number 2. Perfect positioning by Amina Vega. You see Min waiting on that pitch. And Vega looked like maybe she got it off the end of the bat, but still well hit. And now Shi Jiaxin, who is 1 for 2. And Ocasio misses the outside corner. 1 ball, no strikes.
Throwing strikes a big part of the equation so far for Ocasio, not surrendering those free passes, making China earn every base runner.
There's a ground ball again to Claudio with a short hop. She takes it to the bag, and that is the 3rd out of the inning. China smacking the ball all over the place, but excellent defense by Puerto Rico. They are now 3 outs away from punching their ticket. We're going to go to the top of the 7th inning here in Valencia. It is Puerto Rico 2, China 1. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup, live on GameTime.sport. Welcome back to Valencia. Tim Collins along with Cowboy Jim Flanagan coming to you from the Camp Municipal. And we are witnessing another dandy here. 2-1 Puerto Rico over China. Top of the 7th inning. The winner of this game will punch their ticket to the finals. The loser will have to play again at 6 p.m. tonight against Netherlands. And it's Tatiana Roman, the number 9 hitter, to be followed by Ocasio and Carla Claudio. Wang Lan, the 3rd pitcher for China. They started, as always, with Shai Yinan and Wei Yu Chen. Wei Yu Chen had her first bad outing of the tournament, and right now she would be on the hook for the loss. She pitched 1 1/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 1 run. And Wang Lan came in and put out a fire, but not before Ocasio had scored the go-ahead run. That was in the 5th, and that's where we currently are. Roman slapping that one foul, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Puerto Rico came into this event number 4 ranked team in the world. They were the highest ranked team among the 6. Target on their back, so to speak, but they are now 3 outs away from punching that ticket. Trying to add to the margin right here.
It's not going to be easy, though. China's still very tough. The pitch tapped to the left side. It is going to stay foul. For China, if you look ahead to the bottom of the 7th, They have 6, 7, and 8. Yan Siyu, Wang Bei, and Dong Zushuang. All of them capable of getting on base, and we've seen how adept they are once they're on base at taking extra bases on ground balls and forcing defensive errors. So a 2-1 lead is...
Tim, here's that defensive alignment now again with the center fielder way over towards left field.
And that one lined right to left field. As you said, Yan Siyu was playing in. Roman put a good swing on it, but that's a fly out for the first out. Carson Gordon treated China to that treatment earlier in the game, so.
Turnabout fair play.
Yeah. Now Alicia Ocasio. So, what's she done today? Well, all she's done is pitch 6 strong innings and then double and score the go-ahead run, along with a sacrifice and a ground out. And she looks at a strike. Obviously Ocasio, the face of the Puerto Rican national team. She's the highest profile player on this team, but it has been a solid team effort from 1 through 9. Everybody in the lineup has done something. When you think of the incredible defense of Kathy Garcia, base running of Odalise Cordova, also the pitching of Kira Butcher and Macy Cintron, Brianna Roberts, Taryn Alvello. This is a good young team led by Ocasio. And that one is in there for a strike. Ocasio not pleased, but the count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And you know she wants that pitch when she's in the circle, so.
Right, so she's not going to say anything.
Not going to phase her.
1-2, Wong Lan against Alicia Ocasio. And that one is taken low. Looked like a drop or something that was going down towards the back foot. You know Lan is going to be careful with Alicia Ocasio. 1 out here in the 7th. 2-1 Puerto Rico. That ball ripped down the right field line, fair inside the bag into the corner. Ocasio with a big turn. She will turn around and go back. She's got her 2nd hit in her last 2 at-bats, and she turned on that one.
Again, Ocasio running with her head up, dialed in on the right fielder to see where that ball is being played, and made a better decision by holding on at first.
And that is the first hit allowed by Wong Lan, first base runner. Ocasio now 2 for 3 with a double, a single, and a sacrifice. And Carla Claudio 1 out of 3 with a run batted in. 1 out. And this ball hit softly in the air to the shortstop, Yue, as she backs up to the grass to make the catch. And Claudio jammed on that pitch, is out number 2. And now Jenna Causa. Causa was hit by a pitch her last time. And we're going to have, I believe, a temporary runner for Alicia Ocasio. That is indeed Carla Claudio is just going to take her place, as Ocasio going to go back and get ready to pitch the bottom of the 7th by sitting in the shade in the dugout. So Claudio, the temporary runner, Causa at the plate with 2 outs. And she grounds one to third. It's a foul ball, backhanded by Bay.
Causa last time up had a runner aboard. It was Claudio at first and hit by the pitch. Didn't get a chance to finish the at-bat. She's been a huge part of the offensive story for Puerto Rico all week long. So another chance for her to swing it, maybe give her team an insurance run here.
1 strike the count. And that one's outside. But trying to figure out who her batting stance reminds me of, and 2 names come to mind. Edgar Martinez and Dwight Evans. There's a swing at a high fly ball to deep center field. Xiaoyan has a beat on it, and she's under it for the 3rd out.
Got a good piece of that one, a little bit too high to carry. Had she been out in front, maybe a base hit to left, but side retired.
No runs, a hit, no errors, no 1 person left on base. Well, here we go. Bottom of the 7th inning. It's going to be Alicia Ocasio trying to punch the ticket for Puerto Rico. She needs to get 3 defensive outs against China. The score is 2-1 Puerto Rico. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup, live on GameTime.sport. Alicia Ocasio back to the circle. She's got 6 innings in the books, 1 run on 4 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. She has not been knocking the bat out of the hands of the hitters from China, but she has pitched to weak contact, and there have been phenomenal defensive plays by the corner infielders, Claudio and Garcia. There were some nice plays in the outfield, and it's been a full-on team effort for Puerto Rico to hold China at bay. This is a team that has not allowed a lot of runs defensively, China, and if you're going to beat them, you got to keep them down, and Ocasio so far has been able to do that.
Ocasio's throwing just enough change-ups to keep them off balance, and all-important strikes she is throwing, not giving away the free passes, letting her defense do their job, and do their job they have done all day long.
Yeah, the 4 hits and the 1 walk, so only 5 base runners for China in this game. Yan Siyu, the number 6 hitter, and she looks at a ball. After Siyu, it'll be Wang Bei and Dong Zichuan. Should anybody reach, Hu Xiaoyan. The bottom of the order, but they are all good hitters.
Couple of fly ball outs by Yan Siyu, 1 to right, 1 to left.
And a strike called as Ocasio paints the outside corner with that offering. 1 ball and 1 strike. Garcia at third is playing short. Claudio is also playing short, although not quite as short as Garcia is. But you know, CU thinking about a bunt. Fouled away for strike 2. China desperately trying to get a base runner.
Can't rule it out even at this point with China.
Ocasio, whose only other pitching appearance this week was a complete game victory against Cuba. And she's coming up big so far here in this one, trying to work through the final 3 outs. And there's a swing and a miss. The ball in the dirt. Lopez smothers it. The throw to first, and there's 1 away. Just the 6th strikeout for Ocasio. But it's importantly the first out here in the bottom of the 7th. It's important to note that China, if they don't win one of the top 2 spots in this round, they would have a tough time advancing as the wild card. Wang Bei now the hitter. And that pitch is taken outside and low for a ball. The same could be said for Netherlands. Although Netherlands, I think, of the potential wild cards, has the best opportunity. But that's something we'll figure out later. We're trying to figure out who's punching the ticket. There's a ground ball smashed foul.
Just missed on that one. Just inside the line, I think. Base hit.
That's a base hit. Boy, that looked like it hit the railing. That fooled me. I guess it was a fair ball. Yeah, you know, there's all those different lines on the
foul
field.
line. It's hard to see down there. We're blocked out from where we are.
So my apologies. So a good piece of hitting. Wang Bei with a slap single past Garcia. And there's a tying run. And now David Santos is going to come out and have a quick chat with Alicia Ocasio. You know that she wants to stay in this game. Santos chatting briefly. And so Wang Bei also coming in from first base to chat with his base coach. They're going to discuss the strategy. Dong Zichuan is the hitter. She's 1 for 2. She's singled. And that's the tying run on first base. Wang Bei. Bei has been very, very heads up defensively. So you know on the base path she's also going to be looking to advance an extra base if she thinks there's an opportunity. You got to watch out on the back end of any ground ball outs at first base. And so the meeting is over. Ocasio now looking out at her left fielder, Gordon, checking the positioning of the fielders behind her. 1 out, tying run at first, and the pitch swing and a miss. There's the changeup.
Beautiful pitch way out in front.
Zichuan trying to be aggressive and chase that first one, and she was a few minutes too early to that one. 1 strike. The corners are up, and the bunt was shown and pulled back. A throw to first, and Bei dives back in. By Lopez taking a gamble, throwing to Cordova, who was on the move, covering the bag. You definitely don't want to let a throw get away there. Wang Bei at first base, representing the tying run. 1 ball, 1 strike to Zichuan. And that one missed low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now, Ocasio had a 1-2-3 inning in the second, a 1-2-3 inning in the 6th, but otherwise there have been base runners on all the time. 2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch. That one is in there for strike 2. Big pitch for Ocasio. This game coming right down to the wire, just like all of the other ones we've had. Long Bay at first. Corners back up just a tad. Now 2-2. Popped up left side. Garcia gives it a look, and it's out of play. Still 2-2. Ocasio has allowed 5 hits. And as I mentioned, China has had base runners on almost in every inning. She's been pitching under pressure. And a swing and a miss. Excellent block by Lopez. Throw behind the runner. The batter's out no matter what, and Bay almost got back. Bay almost too far off the base, and I think Claudio wasn't quite ready to make the tag over there, but that's the second out. Strikeout number 7.
Huge out for Ocasio, now looking to get that final out and punch the ticket for Puerto Rico.
And it's going to be Hu Xiaoyan who got the game-winning hit for China in their game against Puerto Rico on Tuesday. It was her single that drove in the 2 runs of the game. She is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice. She struck out. And Thomas Lohnert back behind the plate says play, and here we go. 2 outs in the 7th inning. The pitch. Check swing. Did she go? They appeal. Strike 1. That was the changeup. And Xiaoyan looking for something else, could not hold up. The next one popped up left side. Garcia giving it a look, and it's out of play for strike 2. And now Alicia Ocasio, 1 strike away from punching the ticket to Italy 2024. If the score holds, China will have to take on Netherlands later tonight. No balls and 2 strikes to Hu Xiaoyan. And it's low and outside. Wong Bay, the tying run at first. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Xiaoyan. Infield back, looking for anything, trying to keep it on the infield. And a swing and a miss. Strike 3. This game is over. Alicia Ocasio. A complete game. 1 run allowed, 5 hits, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Puerto Rico has punched their ticket to Italy 2024.
And coming back to beat the team that beat them earlier in the week. A great team effort on the part of Puerto Rico. Alicia Ocasio leading the way, to be sure.
And Ocasio, who herself scored the game-winning run after she doubled. And hugs and smiles all abounds. And what a fantastic matchup we had. It started from the first game on Tuesday, and it's come all the way down to now. There's 1 game left, and that is tonight. That will be China versus Netherlands. But Puerto Rico, all smiles. They came in as one of the favorites. They stumbled a little bit, but they have now come back and punched their ticket. And it was truly a group effort. When you look at who pitched in the games, they had a complete game from Taryn Alvelo, Kira Butcher showing off that incredible changeup, Brianna Roberts getting a start and working well, and Alicia Ocasio with 2 complete game victories, 1 over Cuba and 1 here in the second place game against China, the only other team that had beaten Puerto Rico so far in this tournament. So they are fired up to be sure, as are the fans.
China scoring first in this one way back in the first inning, but Puerto Rico able to close it down, held them in check. Puerto Rico scoring 1 in the second to tie, and then, as Tim said, the big double by Ocasio coming around to score what turned out to be the winning run.
Well, it's been one-run games galore, and I expect nothing different. We have one more for you tonight on Game Time Sport, and this week I got to say it has flown by. There you see the bracket. So we are down to one more game here. That's going to be Netherlands versus Cuba. And Puerto Rico joins the USA and Australia as the third team to have punched their ticket to the 2024 finals. And we will find out whether it's going to be China or Netherlands going as the second place team from this bracket. And then, of course, all the action starting today and continuing into next week with Group C in Italy. And what a month of softball we have had for you here at the Women's Softball World Cup. My name is Tim Collins, and I'd like to thank my partner, the Cowboy, Jim Flanagan. Jim, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. We're going to see this one more time today.
Tim, likewise. I'm not going to let you get out of here until the end of the next game, so take a few moments and cool off. We'll be back with more great action. You're watching the 17th Women's World Cup of Softball from beautiful Valencia, Spain. One more game to be followed. There you see on the field, perhaps, they've got a giant ticket-punched cardboard sign and all the Puerto Rico team. There it is on your screen. A very happy bunch from Puerto Rico. They'll be winging their way to Italy July of 2024. And you can see who joins them by coming back for the 6 p.m. scheduled start. Netherlands and China will be back with more great action. Don't go away. One more to go from Valencia, Spain.
Damas y caballeros, por favor, nos ponemos de pie para escuchar el himno Puerto Rico. informa a la calle dorsal 11, Alemaní López.